Recording in progress. All right. So thank you guys for being here Tuesday night. And this is the week one of each a different leader each week is going to take a topic from the Grow Week that was presented last week. And each week somebody will, a different leader will take one of the topics that was discussed during the Grow Week and expand on it a little bit here on our team call. In addition to that, I will obviously announce if there's any special incentives or anything going on. I know that the Mexico incentive just ended, and I know that we had several people. I know April being one of them, Carla being one of them, that were really close. But there was some last minute things that needed to happen that didn't. And so at this point, unless I know that somebody tells me differently, I don't think anybody on the team actually made the Mexico trip. And I've said this before on some of the other contests. I think what we need to do, because I know there's going to be some additional contests that are going to be announced, is, and I'm going to ask for some of the leadership that is starting to, that has been here, but we really need to reinvigorate ourselves here towards the end of the year. Is when this next contest comes out, I'd like to get the people that show up here regularly to invest themselves in getting at least a couple of people to involve themselves in the challenges with them. Okay. My bet is that they're going to do some sort of another contest where you're going to have a group of people that are going to get together and they're all going to run for something. And if that happens in the past, I've kind of like said, hey, different people should team up with different people. But if that happens again, we may put our strongest people together and let them go for the win. Because I think that'd be cool to see happen. Let's see if there's anything else. Mexico in November went really, really well. We had a fantastic time. Lots of good laughs and jokes and just great weather. We are going to do that again, Mexico in May. I have announced some of the incentive that's going to take. My dog is obviously with somebody. So that's going to take. Hang on, I'll mute myself. So anyway, we'll get some additional people, or I'm going to get some additional information put out on that, but I would love it if you guys would really invest yourself either in two things. One, promoting it, and two, making sure that that you're engaged, right? Because Carla's here. She earned the trip. April went because she was staying down the beach from us, and I think you guys can both attest the fact that it was a lot of fun. We had a really, really good time, and I'd like to see more people there. And I've tried to make it where it's not that difficult to achieve, but just enough to maybe push yourself a little bit beyond where you think that you could be. So encourage you guys to take a look at it again and see if it's something that you guys would jump in on. All right. I think that's it. I don't think Carla, April, any incentives that corporate's running right now that I'm not aware of or that I didn't put out. I know that there is a December 31st. I believe it's December 31st. There's a price change on a lot of the products. So there is going to be a little bit of a price change on some of the products. But
December 14th. December
14th. Okay. So December 14th. But there are also now going to make new members are going to get free shipping regardless of original enrollment size. So everybody will get free shipping on their first shipment. And there was something else. What was the other thing? There was another
lifestyle rewards. If you have lifestyle rewards, it's $9.95. There's shipping. A gift set coming out on the 30th and something special next week.
The $9.95 is a flat shipping price for all orders now. So it's just going to be a flat shipping fee regardless of the size of your order. So you won't have that $12 for this and $13 for that and $7 for this. It's going to be a flat $9.95, which even when Will Call was open, Will Call was $7 to pick it up at Will Call. So it's actually not terrible that they've just established a flat price. So I think that's a good thing overall. All right, April.
And then that's if you don't have ISA delivery, right?
Yeah, well, ISA delivery, if you guys are on this call and you're not using at least one of your IsaBody challenges per year to purchase the ISA delivery, you're missing out. I mean, I'm always in a challenge, and once a year I use my ISA delivery coupon to buy my, or not my ISA delivery, my IsaBody coupon to buy my ISA delivery. So I get true free shipping. Like, I don't pay for the ISA delivery because I am in the IsaBody challenge, and I don't pay for shipping. So if you're not using at least one of your IsaBody coupons to purchase the ISA delivery program, you're really missing out. I would encourage all of you to do that. I would encourage you to tell any of your people that are, manager or above, quite honestly, anybody, right? Because anybody can do it. If they're a good customer and they're going to stay, they should definitely be using that program. All right.
Right.
All right, sis, it's all yours.
All right, so thanks for joining. And I think going forward, the creating an event thing in maybe Great Nutrition or working from the beach is a good pop-up thing on people's calendars for this call. I don't know if that would help, but I did that and it popped up on my phone, probably because I created it, but it was a good reminder. So think about that, whoever's hosting next week. And I chose the first week, which is Leader in Action, which I figure Brent would think's pretty funny since I haven't been consistent with Leader in Action. But I chose it so I would get better. So I just now listened to the call from last week on the Leader in Action from last Monday. And she was basically just talking about how to get more enrollments, how to get more of your team to enroll and advancing to consultant, and then how to, rank advance, and then how to just get more points on the worksheet. So I think everybody that's here knows this worksheet probably quite well, because Brent is always coaching on it, which is good for us. And I'll just give a few of the tips that she said. So she kind of started out the call with gratitude. And she wanted everybody that was on the chat to just say, I'm grateful for Isagenix because, and, they said because of whatever. And she did that to kind of get everybody into the energy of why they're in love with this company and these products. So I thought that was a good idea. Thought about doing it on this call, but I think we'll pass. Just think about what your answer would be if I went around, and I might still, depending on how much time we have. So that's how she started out. And second thing was, if you go back and listen to that call, if you didn't listen to it already, fast forward it to 45 minutes in, because Cal is doing a bunch of talking. I don't really know what he talked about, but I fast forwarded 45 minutes, and that's when she started the training. So tip. So for personal enrollments, one of her tips was to go to your personally enrolled details and search by, click the like category if they're active or terminated or preferred customer. And so to go to all of your terminated people, and those are free, those are freebies, like they've already been in the business or in the company, and those are people that are eligible for re-enrollment, and they might not even know that we don't have membership fees anymore, or they might not know about the collagen and stuff like that. So that was her first tip on how to kind of get easy ones, because they already know what's going on as far as Isagenix. And then obviously when you're posting on social media, hopefully you do that at least once a week about Isagenix, whether it's a promotion or somebody's results or whatever, to go back and kind of scrub those posts and see who is liking it or commenting, and just going back. And she gave a little script, which I thought was useful. She said, hey, Brent, thanks so much for commenting or liking my post. I was wondering if you are interested in learning more about the products, or if you're just being a great friend and supporting me and whoever the post was about. And so then if he's like, oh, I'm just supporting you, good job, thanks so much, that means a lot. Or if he's like, oh yeah, totally, I've been following you and I want more information. So to always just go back, and I don't usually do that, I'm just, if they comment, I like it. And in my stories, which I post more stuff in there, I have done that a couple times. If they, like it or heart the story, then those are good people. At least they're paying attention. So give them some kudos for at least doing that. So that's kind of the tips that she gave for personal enrollments. On the advancing people to consultant and helping your team do the same, that's where I struggle. I can kind of get personal enrollments really easy. And my consultant game is really weak right now. So she said to kind of just go through your ISOPULSE, which Carla or somebody said is retiring soon, but to go through that, because that's at least giving you notifications on who's doing something, whether it's getting a new enrollment or they're turned in an ISA-body or whatever. And so those are people, again, kind of easy leads that they're involved to some extent. And so you can go to them and be like, I just see that you spent a couple $100 this week. I'd love to help you get that paid back, or, get those products paid for, or earn some money back on your purchases. So going through the ISOPULSE, or even just going through your active people and seeing who has volume, especially the people that are ordering more than their own 100 BV. And especially now with the free shipping for new enrollments, that'll be really nice, because you can be like, hey, instead of buying 400 BV in your own account, enroll 2 people and, get yourself advanced to consultant and all that kind of stuff. So that will be easier, I think. Any Carla or Brent or anyone else have tips on advancing people other than that? Carla?
I was just telling Sally about using your personally enrolled details page. It's such a great page. It's such a great place to work. And I don't know if everybody has clicked on those columns, because you can also do that in the far right, the BV. If you click on BV, I do this every so often. I click on BV so who's ever spending the most is at the top. So first, what that tells me, like if somebody has 300 and they're a consultant, I might send them a message and say, well, actually, honestly, if they have 200 or more, I would send them a message, 250 or more, that says, hey, you're a consultant. And if you're going to be ordering 250 every month like that, you might want to think about opening an account for your daughter or your husband, or spreading it out to keep you as an active consultant. So that's one thing it does. The other thing it does is I scroll down it and I'm looking to see if they're an associate, if they're a consultant, if they're just a PC, which is just a customer, and they have 100 BV or more. I make a list of those people, which I just did the other day. There it is. And I'm going to call them because they're active, so to create a consultant, which I'm at the desperation week, I have to create a consultant or 2 this week. It's easier for me to get somebody to just sign up 2 people, and maybe a husband or a sister or whatever, and then somebody else, because they're already active. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, I do that. And then the other thing that I don't know if this was mentioned in that call or the other call, but anyways, I've been doing that. I think this was actually mentioned in what I'm going to talk about next week, but I'll just share it both times. Go to reports and then downline orders and look at everybody that's ordered today. Like I usually do this almost every day. I've been doing it, but if I miss, I just go back and I just look at that list of everybody that's ordered. And I say, hey, just wanted to thank you for being a Nysogenics customer, something like that. And I never copy paste that. It's always an original, because maybe I want to add in, I know you're loving the product. So if you want to share it, or I'll add in something like that. But really, it's just saying thank you. And it has opened up a lot of conversation, building some relationships. It is Thanksgiving time. So to show that gratitude, my list is usually like, I don't know, between 10 and 30 people. So it's not a lot, but, and if I don't know them, and this is another thing that page does, is if I don't know them, I do copy paste their name into the view placement tree and see who enrolled them. And then I kind of look at them and, do they have holding volume? Like, who are they? Like, I guess I'm just getting to know the downline. That might be a lot for you, April, but you could take a couple every day,
Yeah, that's good. I've never done that. Downline orders.
It's just it makes you feel good. Thank you. Thanks for being
Yeah.
a customer.
Yes, awesome. And just to give them those FYIs that you guys just mentioned about the flat rate shipping and the free for the new customers. Good pieces of info. Okay, Brent, you have anything else?
Well, my question is does everybody in here know what Carla's talking about as far as downline orders? Because if you don't, where she's talking about is you go to your back office, go to team, go to view placement tree, and that very first section, it's going to show you your BV. It's going to give you each week. And on each one of those each week lists, there is a little blue tab that says details. If you click that details button, that will show you, that's where I go to it. Carla may go to it from a different way, but I go to it there because I can then pick out which week I want to look at. And that way I'll go to that week that I want to see. I'll open that up, and you can open it up either in PDF or you can open it up as a Excel, and then you can search it differently if you open it up as Excel. I usually just open up PDF, just skim through it. But what I'm also looking for is anybody that has returned volume, right? So if somebody returns something, then I go back and I look and see who returned it, who's their upline, does that person their upline know? And then obviously if I see any really large orders, and to me, a large order is anything over about 200, 250 BV. Because if I see an order of over 250 BV, my indication, if I saw that under Janice, for example, I would believe that Janice is probably selling Isagenix products to somebody else in her family, right? Like she's buying a bunch, right? But then she's selling it herself, because some people just do that, right? Some people, it's like, it's easier for them to do it that, or they think it's easier to do it that way. Now with the free shipping on initial order, that would be a great person then to send that message like Carla was saying, or April was saying, hey, Janice, just letting you know, there's now free shipping for anybody on their very first order. So I know you've been ordering, I think you've probably been ordering for other people. Just FYI, place their order, it's free shipping. And that might incentivize them to enroll someone new, right? So that's a good one. The other report that I also use a lot, and probably even more than that one, is I use the IsaBody report. So if you go to your business back office, go under reports, go under business, and then pull up your IsaBody downline report, you can see everybody that's in your downline. I don't care how they got there, right? So even if I put somebody under April, they would show up. If Carla enrolls somebody and puts them under Shari, they're going to show up because it's in order, right? So anybody physically below you, you're going to get that report. And in that report, it's going to show you every single person, full PETs, like doesn't matter, to eternity, right? That's in the IsaBody challenge. So then now you know two things. One, you know that there's somebody that's interested enough to get in the IsaBody, right? So they're at least engaged at that level. And then you can see how many points they've ordered during their IsaBody challenge. So if I see somebody who's ordered a lot of points, then my belief is generally they're probably buying for somebody else, maybe somebody in their family. So then I'm going to reach out to them, because now I know I've got an invested customer because they're in the IsaBody challenge, and I know that they're actually ordering more product. So I can reach out to them on multiple different topics. So just some other things that you guys can think of, and kind of, again, it can be pretty in depth, but if you look at these reports and you utilize them in that business mindset, you will have a different view on what this report might be valuable to you for. So yeah, that's how I look at trying to create new consultants, and not just my personally enrolled, right? If I connect with somebody from an IsaBody challenge report, I'm always going to ask them, hey, if you're ordering a bunch of product, are you interested in being strategically ordering that product so that you can make $100 back? And if they say yes, and then I find out that they're downline team members of Diana's or somebody, then I'm going to reach out to Diana and say, hey, I'm turning this person into a consultant, just so you know, you're probably going to make $100 because I'm helping reach out to Sally, and Sally wants to become a consultant.
Good tips. Thank you. I will do both of those. Yeah, so that's essentially how to fill in the boxes of your worksheet. But more than that, the call was really about just daily method of operation. And by doing so, you will fill out your sheet as a result. So kind of being focused on the sheet and then using those things as tools, or using those things as tools and then your sheet kind of gets filled out by default. I think that the first one is more strategic, where you're looking at your sheet and then, you know, thinking where you're going to pull those consultants or personally enrolled from. And that's the other thing that she was saying, is that I think she was doing fine on personal enrollments, but she needed to focus like that week on building consultants or helping her team rank and advance. So it kind of does give you a little bit more strategic way of whatever you're going to do every day. So yeah, that's kind of it. And just, you know, reminding people to post on the social media so that you can start getting those leads and people to follow up with, doing the gratitude, and yeah, using your leader in action to qualify for the contests and promotions and stuff that the company is giving you.
Cool.
So that's kind of all I was going to cover. Brett, Carla, anyone else have questions or comments?
Just that I think first, April, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. And it doesn't have to be crazy long, right? We're just recapping the call. So Carla, I think you're doing next week. Is that correct? Okay. And then I'll set somebody up for the week after. Mary Ellen had expressed interest in doing one of the weeks. I would like for anybody who is manager or below to team up with somebody else, either another manager or above, so that so that there's a little bit more, and I don't want to say more value in the call, but that way there's two people who are kind of brainstorming to put that together, right? So if you're manager or below, I'd prefer that you team up with somebody and take one of them. So Mary Ellen, I know you can't talk, but I appreciate you chiming in right away to take one of the spots. With that and wrapping up, what I'd like is, I did my BNI commercial today on something and I wrote a note down, and I would like some help in turning this into a challenge for our team for Great Nutrition. But I also see this as being a really good opportunity for us to do some talk on our regular social media. So the average person gains 7 pounds over the holiday season, right? 7 pounds is what they're saying now. So what I would like to do is get some brainstorming from you all on how we can call this the 7 pound challenge, right? I'm a part of the 7 pound challenge, right? So it's something that people can like, what is that, right? So hopefully it will start some conversation with you and saying that I don't want to be average, right? So I'm thinking like tag words, right? I don't want to be average. I want to be less than average, something along those lines, so that it can kind of intrigue people into like, why do you want to be less than average? Well, the average person gains 7 pounds, so I want to gain less than that over the holiday season, right? So either gain less than or not gain at all over the holiday season. So I'd like some brainstorming from some of you guys on what you think that might look like, some ideas behind it. It doesn't have to be right now. Maybe some memes we can come up with, whatever that we can kind of share within our group here to get people involved in a, I don't want to be average, I want to be less than average, 7 pound challenge, different things like that over this holiday season and leading up to NYKO. Speaking of NYKO, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet and you're interested, remember, I am reimbursing if you purchase your tickets and attend NYKO. So if you buy your tickets and you attend, then I'll get you reimbursed for your purchase price up to the original price, whatever it was. I think it was $100 or $129 or something like that was the original price. So whatever the original incentive price is. So if you had to pay a little bit more than that, I'm not going to reimburse you all of it. I'll reimburse you up to whatever that original price was. I can't remember if it was 100. It was either 99, 119, or 129. I can't remember. So whatever it was, we'll figure it out and we'll get the reimbursement for it. But I would encourage you to do that. Keep your eye out in some of the business pages, because there will be people that will be saying, hey, look, I bought 5 tickets and now I need to get rid of one. So that'll be an option as well, I'm sure. All right. I
want to say thank you to Sally for answering my questions last week or whenever that was about my cool sculpting person. She is interested. And so we're going to do like a little trade. So I signed her up and then she's going to do something for me with her equipment so we can kind of talk about each other's stuff and hopefully it'll go
that's
from there.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, you can actually get the cool sculpting done.
Yeah. She doesn't do cool sculpting. She says she does warm sculpting. I don't know, whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yay, good. I'm glad it
So,
worked out.
but yeah, she was interested in the only thing that she said, which I was like, well, we'll figure that out once we get there is she didn't want to be seen as selling the product or making a profit on the products that she would sell. You know,
That's weird.
she
Did you ask
says,
her why?
yes, because she's gone to other providers and she feels like they're only pushing those products to make a profit. And it's outside their scope of whatever their profession is. Like, I don't know, goes to the chiropractor and they're pushing vitamins or something. So I just figure that'll come over time that, you know, she actually sees a result and she won't really have a conflict in her brain about it.
Well, I don't want to go to the chiropractor if the chiropractor's making money off of fixing my back. That would be.
Yeah, I don't want to get vitamins from my chiropractor.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know what's wrong with these estheticians.
Once
Sally?
she starts